What if there was one more principle that could unlock deeper clarity and freedom in your life? Today we're diving into the Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Jose Ruiz, where we'll explore this powerful new agreement that builds upon the original 4 agreements to take your self-mastery to the next level. In this video, we'll break down the key teachings from the book, sharing how this 5th agreement helps you question assumptions, embrace your truth, and live with greater authenticity. If you're ready to uncover this transformative wisdom, don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing insights. Imagine this. From the moment you're born, a set of rules, beliefs, and values are handed to you. You don't get to choose them. They're passed down from your family, culture, and society. This is what Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Jose Ruiz refer to as the program. It's a system that shapes how you see the world, yourself, and your potential. Most of us are unaware that we're living within this program, following agreements we never consciously made. In the 5th agreement, the authors suggest that these inherited beliefs limit our true potential. Our identity is molded by the expectations of others, whether we realize it or not. But there's a way out. By recognizing the existence of this program, you can break free from the agreements that hold you back and begin living a life of authenticity and freedom. Think of a time when someone told you who you should be, or how you should act. Maybe it was a parent, a teacher, or even society itself. Without even realizing it, you accepted their version of reality and allowed it to shape your decisions. But what if you questioned it? What if you chose your own path, instead of following a pre-written script? The moment you realize this, you take the first step toward freedom. To sum it up, Chapter 1 is about becoming aware of the program that controls your life. By questioning the beliefs and agreements you've accepted, you open the door to living a more conscious, intentional life. Principle number 1 is, it's all in the program. Recognizing the hidden agreements that shape your reality. As humans, we've mastered the art of communication through symbols. Words, gestures, and even images hold meaning for us. But here's the thing. The meanings we assign to these symbols are just agreements. They aren't absolute truths. The Chapter 2 of the 5th agreement explains how we unconsciously agree to the meanings of these symbols from a young age. These agreements form the foundation of how we understand the world around us, but they can also limit us. Imagine you're in a room full of people speaking a language you don't understand. The sounds mean nothing to you, but to them, those words have power. This is the essence of symbols. They only have meaning because we agree they do. We even do this with ourselves. We agree to labels like successful, failure, smart, or not good enough. These labels dictate how we see ourselves and others. Now think of a time when you labeled yourself. Maybe you've said, "I'm not good at this," or "I can never succeed." These labels aren't real. They're agreements you've made with yourself based on past experiences. What if you chose to break those agreements and create new ones? When you realize that you have the power to redefine the symbols you live by, you can begin to change your life. To sum up, Chapter 2 is about recognizing that the meaning we give to symbols is not set in stone. By changing the agreements we've made, we can reshape our reality and how we view ourselves. Principle number 2 is the art of humans. Understanding that symbols only hold the power we give them. Words are powerful. They have the ability to create, destroy, uplift, or tear down. In the 5th agreement, Chapter 3 introduces the 1st agreement. Be impeccable with your word. This means using your words with integrity and care because they shape not only your reality, but also the world around you. We often underestimate the weight of our words, but they are the foundation of every story we tell about ourselves. Think about it. How many times have you spoken negatively about yourself? "I'm not good enough." "I'll never succeed." "I can't do this." Each time you say these things, you reinforce that narrative. But when you speak positively, when you're impeccable with your word, you begin to change that story. You have the power to rewrite your life by choosing the words you use. Let's say you're starting a new project. Instead of saying, "I'll never be able to do this," try saying, "I'll give it my best effort, and I'm capable of learning." That small shift in language changes how you feel and how you approach the challenge. Being impeccable with your word isn't just about honesty with others. It's about being honest and kind to yourself. In summary, Chapter 3 teaches us that the words we use have a profound impact on how we experience life. By being mindful of our language, we can transform our inner dialogue and interactions with others. Principle number 3 is be impeccable with your word. The power of words to shape our reality and the story we tell ourselves. Imagine a world where nothing anyone says or does affects you. Sounds impossible, right? In Chapter 4 of the Fifth Agreement, the authors introduce the second agreement. Don't take anything personally. This principle is about realizing that everyone lives in their own mental world, shaped by their beliefs, experiences, and perceptions. What people say and do has more to do with them than it does with you. We often fall into the trap of thinking that the actions or words of others are a reflection of us. When someone criticizes or praises you, it's easy to take it personally. But the truth is, their response is shaped by their own internal story, not yours. This agreement frees you from the emotional roller coaster of seeking validation or being hurt by others' opinions. Picture this. You receive harsh feedback at work. Your instinct might be to take it personally, to feel hurt or defensive. But when you remember that their feedback is a reflection of their own expectations, experiences, or even their bad day, you can step back and see it for what it is. By not taking it personally, you free yourself from unnecessary pain and frustration. In short, Chapter 4 teaches us to detach ourselves from the opinions and actions of others. It's a powerful way to protect your emotional well-being and live authentically, without constantly seeking approval or fearing rejection. Principle number 4 is, don't take anything personally. Recognizing that what others say or do is a reflection of them, not you. How many times have you jumped to conclusions, assuming you know what someone else is thinking or feeling? The Chapter 5 introduces the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. We often assume things about situations, people, or events without truly knowing the facts. These assumptions lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and unnecessary conflict. Making assumptions is easy. Our minds are wired to fill in gaps when we don't have all the information. However, this tendency often leads us down the wrong path, creating stories that aren't based on reality. The third agreement challenges us to ask questions, seek clarity, and stop relying on our assumptions. Think about a time when a friend didn't respond to your text or call. It's easy to assume they're upset with you or that something's wrong. But what if they were just busy or had a difficult day? Rather than jumping to conclusions, you could simply ask, "Is everything okay?" Asking questions clears up misunderstandings before they grow into unnecessary tension or conflict. In summary, Chapter 5 is about taking the time to communicate clearly and not let assumptions dictate our actions or thoughts. When we stop assuming and start asking, we foster better understanding and connection. Principle number 5 is, don't make assumptions. Avoid jumping to conclusions. Ask questions and seek the truth. In Chapter 6 of the Fifth Agreement, the authors dive into the power of belief by using the symbol of Santa Claus. As children, we wholeheartedly believe in Santa Claus because we trust the stories we've been told. But as we grow older, we realize that Santa is a symbol, one that shaped our perception of generosity and holiday magic. This chapter teaches us that our entire reality is built on symbols and beliefs, many of which are just as fictional as Santa Claus. Beliefs shape how we see the world, but many of these beliefs are illusions passed down to us. Just like we believed in Santa Claus without questioning, we also accept other beliefs about success, love, and even our self-worth, without realizing they might not be real. These beliefs can either empower us or limit us. Think about the belief that you need to be perfect to be successful. It's like believing in Santa Claus, an illusion. But if you challenge that belief, you can break free from the pressure to be perfect and redefine success on your own terms. Once you realize that many of the things you believe are just symbols and stories, you have the power to change them. In summary, Chapter 6 reminds us that many of our beliefs are rooted in illusions, just like Santa Claus. By questioning these symbols, we can create new, empowering beliefs that reflect our true values. Principle number 6 is the power of belief. Our reality is shaped by the symbols and stories we choose to believe. In Chapter 7, we learn the importance of consistency through the fourth agreement, always do your best. This agreement is not about perfection. It's about showing up and giving your best effort in every situation. Your best may vary from day to day, depending on how you feel or what resources are available. But the key is to keep trying and to stay committed to growth. Life is unpredictable, and some days you might feel like you're falling short. But instead of judging yourself or giving up, the fourth agreement encourages you to keep going. Practice and persistence are the true paths to mastery. Whether you're learning a new skill, working on personal growth, or handling life's challenges, always doing your best means that you're constantly moving forward, no matter how small the progress. Imagine you've taken on a new challenge, like learning a language. Some days, you may struggle to remember words or feel frustrated with slow progress. But if you consistently put in effort, even on tough days, you'll find yourself improving over time. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing what you can with the circumstances you have. In summary, Chapter 7 teaches us that mastery comes from consistent effort. By always doing your best, you avoid self-judgment and regret, and you steadily move toward your goals. Principle number 7 is, always do your best. Mastery is achieved through consistent effort, not perfection. Chapter 8 introduces the fifth agreement. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. This agreement teaches us to question everything, including the stories we tell ourselves and what others tell us. It encourages healthy skepticism, not as a way to dismiss things, but as a way to seek truth and avoid blindly accepting what we hear. At the same time, learning to listen with an open heart and mind allows us to grow and understand different perspectives. Being skeptical doesn't mean you don't believe in anything. It simply means you recognize that not everything is as it seems. The world is full of opinions, beliefs, and perceptions, yours included. When you approach life with a healthy dose of doubt, you begin to see beyond the surface and find deeper truths. But this agreement also emphasizes the importance of listening, because even in doubt, there's wisdom to be gained from hearing others out. Picture this. You're having a conversation with someone who strongly disagrees with you. Instead of getting defensive, you practice the fifth agreement. Doubt their words, but truly listen to their point of view. In doing so, you remain open to learning something new, and even if you disagree, you gain a better understanding of their perspective. This balance between skepticism and listening brings clarity and deeper connections. In summary, Chapter 8 reminds us that questioning what we hear and think doesn't mean closing ourselves off. It's about finding truth while remaining open to learning from others. Principle number 8 is, be skeptical, but learn to listen. Doubt everything, but stay open to truth and wisdom. The Chapter 9 of the Fifth Agreement introduces the concept of the first attention, a way of seeing the world where we play the role of the victim. From a young age, we are taught to conform to societal expectations and agreements, leading us to believe we are powerless. This victim mindset keeps us trapped, unable to see our true potential, because we believe that life is happening to us, rather than recognizing that we have control over our reality. The victim role is created by the agreements we make with ourselves and others. We accept the belief that we must follow certain rules, often to gain approval or avoid punishment. But in doing so, we lose sight of our authentic selves and live in fear of rejection or failure. The dream of the first attention is about waking up to the fact that we are not victims. We have the power to change our lives by challenging these limiting beliefs. Imagine a time when you felt trapped by your circumstances. Maybe it was a job you didn't like or a relationship that didn't fulfill you, but you stayed because you believed you had no other choice. The victim mindset told you that you were stuck, but in reality, you had the power to make a change all along. Recognizing this is the first step toward freedom. In summary, Chapter 9 reveals that living as a victim is a result of the agreements we've accepted without question. By recognizing this, we can begin to reclaim our power and rewrite our story. Principle number 9 is the victims. Understanding that we are not powerless, but shaped by the agreements we've accepted. Chapter 10 of the Fifth Agreement introduces us to the second attention, a mindset where we take on the role of the warrior. Unlike the victim mentality of the first attention, the warrior realizes that life is not happening to them. They are in control. The warrior is aware of the agreements that have been imposed by society, family, and even their own mind. But instead of accepting them, they fight to break free. This chapter is about recognizing the power we have to change our lives and challenge the beliefs that hold us back. Becoming a warrior means taking responsibility for your life. It's about realizing that you have the choice to rewrite your story. Every time you challenge a limiting belief or refuse to be defined by others, you're stepping into the role of the warrior. This battle isn't against others, it's within yourself, as you fight the old agreements and break free from fear. Imagine a time when you felt the need to stand up for yourself, to go against the grain, even when it was difficult. Maybe it was leaving a job that no longer aligned with your values or setting boundaries in a relationship. That decision, even if hard, was your warrior spirit breaking free from the old agreements that no longer served you. This is the essence of the second attention. In summary, Chapter 10 encourages us to embrace the role of the warrior by challenging the agreements that limit us. It's about taking ownership of our lives and fighting for our authentic selves. Principle number 10 is the warriors. Taking responsibility for your life and fighting to break free from limiting beliefs. Chapter 11 discusses the third attention, where we step into the role of the master. In this state, we've moved beyond the victim and warrior stages. The master fully understands that life is a dream, and they have complete control over their reality. The master's power comes from awareness. Awareness of the agreements they've made and the power to consciously choose new ones. This chapter is about reaching a state of clarity and living in harmony with one's true self. The master no longer fights against life. They don't need to struggle or battle against their limiting beliefs because they've learned how to transform them. Masters realize that they create their own experience, and that the only limitations are the ones they accept. Instead of living by the expectations of others, they live authentically, free from fear and self-doubt. Think of a time when you felt at peace with your decisions, when you weren't trying to please anyone, and you were simply aligned with your own truth. Maybe it was a moment of choosing to follow your passion despite what others thought. That's the essence of the master. Someone who lives in accordance with their deepest values and understands their power to shape their life. In summary, Chapter 11 is about becoming the master of your own life. When you live with full awareness and embrace your ability to create your reality, you move beyond struggle and into true freedom. Principle number 11 is the masters. Living with full awareness and creating your reality with clarity and intention. In Chapter 12 of the Fifth Agreement, we are introduced to the concept of becoming a seer, where we adopt a new point of view. To be a seer means to look beyond the surface of reality and see the world without the distortions of old agreements, fears, and illusions. This chapter focuses on the idea that, as seers, we have the ability to view life through a lens of truth, free from the stories we've been told, or the ones we've created in our minds. The seer understands that life is not what it seems. There's always a deeper reality beyond what we perceive. By changing our point of view and seeing the truth in every situation, we begin to see life as it really is, without the influence of our past agreements or the expectations of others. This shift allows us to live with clarity, purpose, and peace. Imagine a time when you decided to take a step back from a situation to see it more clearly. Maybe it was a misunderstanding with a friend or a personal challenge you were facing. By shifting your perspective and seeing things from a broader point of view, you found a solution or experienced peace. That's what it means to be a seer, to gain a new perspective and approach life with clarity. In summary, Chapter 12 is about shifting our perspective to see beyond the illusions of the mind. By becoming seers, we can see life as it truly is and live in alignment with truth. Principle number 12 is becoming a seer. Gaining a new point of view and seeing life clearly, beyond illusions and fear. In the final chapter of the Fifth Agreement, we explore the three languages, the ways we communicate and express ourselves in the world. These three languages are gossip, truth, and love. The chapter asks us to reflect on the kind of messenger we are. Are we spreading negativity through gossip, or are we speaking truth and love into the world? Every word we say sends a message, whether it's intentional or not, and those messages shape our relationships and the energy around us. The first language, gossip, is harmful. It spreads negativity, misunderstanding, and separation. The second, truth, allows us to communicate honestly and authentically, leading to stronger connections. But the most powerful language is love. When we speak from a place of love, we create harmony and unity. uplifting ourselves and those around us. Imagine a time when someone spoke negatively about someone else, and you got pulled into the gossip. It likely left you feeling heavy, uncomfortable, or even guilty. Now think about a time when you shared something positive, a word of encouragement, or expressed love to someone. That likely felt empowering for both you and the other person. This is the power of the language of love. It transforms your energy and brings peace into your life. In summary, Chapter 13 encourages us to choose the language we speak wisely. By being conscious of our words and spreading truth and love, we become messengers of positivity in the world. Principle number 13 is the 3 languages. Choose to be a messenger of love and truth, avoiding the negativity of gossip. In the epilogue of the 5th agreement, Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Jose Ruiz offer a final reflection. Help me to change the world. This isn't a call to grand world-altering actions, but rather a request for each of us to play our part in transforming the world through awareness and love. The authors remind us that change starts from within, by living the 5 agreements, being impeccable with your word, not taking anything personally, not making assumptions, always doing your best, and being skeptical. But listening, you contribute to a more compassionate and conscious world. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you liked what you saw, a like would mean the world to me. It helps support the channel and lets me know you want to see more content like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.